Okay guys, let's see how we can name the following alkenes. I have 3 questions for you to practice on naming alkenes. Okay, the first question is this one. So this is an alkene. You can see you have 2 double bond. It is possible to have more than 1 double bond in an alkene. Okay, and you can also see that you don't have any branch. You are going to need this table, the one I told you to memorize. Let's put it here. Okay, and now before you can name this alkene, you have to first number your carbon atoms. You have to number in such a way that the functional group is given the lowest possible number. In an alkene, the functional group is the double bond. So you can see this is a double bond, which is a functional group for an alkene, and this is another double bond, which is a functional group for an alkene. Okay, you can see that, and you can see you don't have any branch. So you are going to number your carbon atoms in the parent chain. This is the longest continuous carbon chain that you have. There is no any branch. So in order to name this organic compound, you have to number your carbon atoms. You are going to number in such a way that you give the functional group the lowest possible number. Okay, so are you going to start from left going to the right, or from right going to the left? You can see if you start from right, this is going to get a higher number, this double bond. But if you start from left going to the right, they are going to get the lowest possible number because the double bond is very close to the left. So this is going to be carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like this. Not starting this side going that way, because we want to have this double bond and this one on the lowest possible number. So if I start this side, the double bond is located on carbon number 1. You can see that. And the other one, which is this one, is located on carbon number 3. You can see that. But if I start this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see the double bond will be on carbon number 4, and this will be on carbon number 2. So the lowest combination is 1 and 3, not 2 and 4 if you start from right to the left. So this is the lowest combination we can have. So you can see the double bond is on 1 and on 3. Okay, now let's name this organic compound. The parent chain is made up of 5 carbon atoms. You can see that. We are going to use the prefix pent. You can see there's pent when we have 5 carbon atoms in the parent chain. So it will be pent like this, the prefix. And now you have the double bond on carbon number 1 and carbon number 3. So you are going to have 1, 3 like this. And then you have 2 of them. When you have 2 of the same thing, you are going to use di. You can see if you have 3, you use tri. If you have 4, you use tetra. So you have 2 of them, you are going to use di. So it will be di, and then you follow it by the suffix ene, because you are naming an alkene. So it will be diene like this. So the full name of this compound is pent 1, 3 diene. Okay, so this is how you name an alkene. Let's see another example. This is question 2. We have this organic compound. You can see. So now you can see you don't have a branch again in this organic compound. You only have this long continuous carbon chain, which is made up of how many carbon atoms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we need to name this organic compound. We first need to number our carbon atoms. Okay, are we going to start from left to the right or from right to the left? Okay, according to the IUPAC system, you have to give this double bond the lowest possible number. This is the functional group for an alkene. You have to give it the priority, so it has to get the lowest possible number. So you can see I'm not going to start from right going to the left, because if I start from right going to the left, this is going to be on carbon number what? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be on carbon number 4. But if I start from left going to the right, this is going to be on carbon number 1. We can see this is 1 and this is 2, 3. So you can see this double bond is going to be on carbon number 1. So you need to start from left going to the right so that this double bond can be located on the lowest possible number. So this is going to be carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like this. And now you can see we don't have any branch. Okay, let's name this organic compound. So the parent chain is made up of how many carbon atoms? 5. You are going to use the prefix pent again. So it will be pent like this. And then you have the double bond on carbon number 1. We can see that. So it will be 1 like this, because there is a double bond on carbon number 1 like this. And then you follow it by the suffix ene. you can see it in the name alkene. So it will be ENE like this. Okay. You have only one functional group. This is why you only have ENE. So you don't need to use these prefix di, tri, tetra. You don't need to use them because you only have one. Unlike in this one, you had two of them, this one and this one. This is why you use di. So in this one, you have pent one in. So this is the name of this organic compound. Now let's see another question. This one, question 3. Let's name this organic compound. This is another alkene. You can see in this alkene, you have two double bonds, this one and this one. Okay, let's get the longest continuous carbon chain in this alkene. So you have to make sure all the functional group are included. And you know the functional group for an alkene are the double bond. So you have this and this. When counting the longest continuous carbon chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, this will be left out, which is wrong because I have to include all the functional group for this organic compound. This is why I can't go like this 1, 2, 3, 4 and leave this out. So I have to include this one. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now you can see the parent chain is made up of 4 carbon atoms. So this is the longest continuous carbon chain that contain the functional group. And we said that the functional group is the double bond, this one and this one for an alkene. Okay, so this is the parent chain. It is made up of 4 carbon atoms. And you can see this is going to be our branch. Okay, now we need to name this organic compound. So am I going to start numbering from right to the left or from left to the right? If I start from left, the first double bond will be on carbon number 1. We can see that 1. And the second double bond will be on carbon number, let's see, 1, 2, 3. You can see the second double bond will be on carbon number 3. But if I start from right to the left, the first double bond is also on carbon number 1. And the second one is on carbon number 3. You can see that 1, 2, 3. You can see that. So either way, whether left to the right or right to the left, the double bond is on carbon number 1 and 3. Either way. So in this case, there is something which we have to look at. It is the branch. So let's start from left going to the right so that this branch can be located on the lowest possible number. So the right way is to start from left going to the right so that we can have this branch on carbon number what? 2. You can see that this will be 1 and 2. Because if you start right to the left, this will be on carbon number 3. You can see that 1, 2, 3, which is greater than 2. It is best to give it the lowest possible number, which is 2. You can see 1, 2 instead of 1, 2, 3. You can see that. So you can see we are not violating any rule by not giving this functional group, the double bond, the lowest possible number. Because either way, from left to the right or from right to the left, the double bond will still be on carbon number 1 and 3. So it is best to give this the lowest possible number because we are not violating the rule there. So we are going to do it in such a way that this branch is given the lowest possible number. So we are going to start from left going to the right. So it will be, this will be carbon number 1 and this 2, 3 and 4 like this. So you can see the branch is located on carbon number 2. Now let's name this organic compound. We first have to start by naming the branch. So the branch is located on carbon number 2. And what is the name of this branch? It is made up of 2 carbon atoms. Remember from the table, when we have the branch with 2 carbon atoms, the name is ethyl, right? So it will be 2 ethyl. And then now let's name the parent chain. The parent chain is made up of 4 carbon atoms. When we have 4 carbon atoms in the parent chain, the name is but, or you can say but, like this. You can see when you have 4 carbon atoms, you use the prefix but. You can see it, right? Okay. You need to memorize this table. Okay. So it will be but, like this. And then now you have the double bond on carbon number 1 and on carbon number 3. It will be 1, 3. You can see that there is a double bond on 1 and there is also another double bond on 3. So it will be 1, 3 like this. And then Remember, you have two of the same thing. You are going to use die as in the previous question 1. So it will be die, you follow it by E-N-E. So it will be die in like this. You have two of them. You have to remember that. And you always make sure that you have an hyphen between a letter and the number. Always, you can see that an hyphen between a letter and the number. Always. So this is the full name. Okay. We are done with this question. Please check for other practice exam questions which I'm going to post on this channel. And remember to subscribe and activate the notification bell so that you can have this video coming your way. We are done for now. See you next time and take care.